Hello, beautiful friends. This song is called 1,000 Suns by Guru Ganesha Band. I love that song because, we need songs. Songs are really important. I always say, it seems Divine Mother is just saying, oh, I'm the mother of music. But when we understand she is the mother of music, and when we become her music, then we can play with her. And so we do what we do. Sorry, I didn't want to have my slide here. Let's look at some light. And so we do what we do to become a better and a better and a better instrument. And when Divine Mother sees how much music we produce through our being, that is the key. We want the music of cosmos to sound through us, and we don't want to be in the way of the harmony. And that is the key. If I should summarize spiritual meaning of all that is, it is to be the best possible harmonious instrument and playing with all life in cosmos. That means you and me together, you and me in the world here, you and me, the planet, you and me, the stars, and you and me, the cosmos. And that's how it is. So really, sometimes I always think the spirituality that we have known the last many thousands of years make things a little complicated, but let's make it really simple. We are instruments, divine instruments. The body is divine. All is divine. How could something not be divine? As long as it is natural. As you know, and again, this is just from experience, I have seen, for example, how evolution should always follow nature, and that nature is evolution, and she is evolutionary. And so we take nature as our guide. We follow nature. But if we choose all the different artificial intelligence and we disconnect from nature, that is not the path of nature. And so that is not the true evolutionary path. Does it mean it's all lost then? No. But I have seen civilizations that actually kind of lead themselves into the abyss because they stopped following nature. I also have seen civilizations that absolutely follow nature, and actually they do have some technologies that they use, but eventually they all figure it out that actually nature offers all technology within herself, which then is the ability to use consciousness. And consciousness, when it is united with her, with the cosmic mother nature, is then unlimited. Unlimited. Do we have sound? I see that Catherine didn't have sound. We have sound, good. Okay. We always follow the simplicity of technology, and that is if we cannot hear, we log out, log in. Sometimes we restart, and that is how technology works. So, we are in service on this planet. All of us who are somehow, a little bit awake, awake. Nobody is fully awake as long as the world is asleep. And for those of you who are disciples of Yogananda, you also know that as long as we are here, we don't have the full view. And so, it requires actually complete departure to have a better view. And even then, it doesn't have to be a full view of things. We are always limited by our own layers of the different bodies that we have. And liberation is moving through the different bodies till we are so absolutely attuned with those frequencies, intensities of divine source that we can handle the pure divine source really beaming into us. And it is also okay. But let us be the most perfect instruments we can be to play the music well. Remember, the music of cosmos is running through you all the time. It is beautiful. It's coming to you. And because it's coming to all of us at the same time, it wants to run through us, and it wants to create beauty and perfection and harmony. We are the only ones who can distort the music. And so we are also the only ones who can then bring ourselves back into harmony. And so Divine Mother gave us many different tools to be in harmony. But what I think is she is really giving to humanity now is the remembrance of breath, the power of breath. She also is the mother of the body. So, again, I say a lot of different teachings in this world, they really kind of try to suppress the body not to be the fullness of what it can be. But the body is an amazing tool. Just imagine what happens when you go and attune yourself every morning to her body that we have here as nature, as earth, as the 5 elements, and we unite with all that is, with our mystical practices that we are learning here, practicing here. You know, many of you already know all that, you know, I share anyway. So it's just, you know, empowering us as a collective to actually be aligned. So a lot of people are remembering the same thing, and that is breathing, and then nature, and those are the most powerful tools we have right now. But we have to understand that nature is not just what we see here. Nature is much bigger than that, and that's why we call her the cosmic mother nature. And we have been doing amazing things together in this lunar cycle, and it's going to get better and better and better. I talked to Divine Mother this morning, and I was so excited. And there is a limit on how many emails I can send every month, so I exceeded my limit. So right now I cannot tell you how excited I am about what's coming today. So today we will be working with our amazing body. So when Divine Mother started teaching me, one of the really puzzling things I really didn't understand at all was she wanted me to really get familiar with our skeleton. And so I asked my husband to buy me a skeleton for Christmas, which he didn't. But this is how serious I was about learning everything about a skeleton. I wanted to look at it. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to see where the bones connect, what they do. And again, it was because Divine Mother had a plan. And that was what happens when you really get to know your skeleton, is then you have a different relationship with how the energy flows through you, how you sleep, what posture you are in, and understanding that your spine is an amazing tool, and we will be uncovering that. So for today, this is on YouTube. It's called the Kriya Yoga, the art of super self-realization or super realization. And it's the initiation process that Yogananda gave humanity. And you see, it was strictly for personal use only, because it was only given to the initiates. Now, again, I personally would not make this public, but it is public. And so please do listen to this very short audiobook. It's only 24 minutes, I think. And we'll listen to a few minutes of it. And it is really the initiation process and the practices. Now, in this world, again, you can take many different routes when you want to really know the process step by step and practice it through the initiation. So you can, and I will post the link in the chat so that everyone has it. So I don't know. Personally, I'm surprised that this is actually available. Okay. Here is the link for everyone. So I don't know if someone's going to actually take it down eventually. Again, as you can imagine, when you do this process with self-realization fellowship, this is not something that is publicly given to anyone. And so this is also the same process, very similar to what Sadhguru teaches, very similar. But with Sadhguru, again, if you want to go into the depth of all that he teaches, you know, it requires, again, a path. But this is a really, really good start. So we have been learning a lot about breath. Now, why is that? Divine Mother always says, if you want to connect with her, use your breath. Use your body, use her music, which also could be chanting, which also is the sound of Om, and really being a beautiful instrument. Now, what happens to our instruments when we come into this world? As you know, a lot of things already can go wrong when we become, you know, in a human body children. So a lot of people experience, you know, so many different conditions that actually shut down the energy. Oh, really? That's amazing that Babaji gave him the permission to do this. I love this. That's awesome. So I called in Babaji today because now that we are connecting with this so powerfully, it's pretty incredible. So the fun thing is about, you know, when you work with these big masters, when they come to you, yeah, they have to come to you, and they come to you, and everybody might have different masters or the similar masters, same masters, and so on and so on. And it's good. Allow yourself to be found by them. It's pretty incredible. Oh, okay. That's good to know about Babaji. So when Yogananda first came to me and he started teaching me, I thought that must be the highlight of all things that can possibly happen, because once you have a master like that or any other master like this teaching you one-on-one, obviously it's huge. And so, you know, the methods that Yogananda asked me then to teach was exactly what he gave me. Those were the 5 steps that we did, and that was really connected to our soul body and connecting to the spirit body. Now, when you listen to this audio book on YouTube, it's the same thing. We are connecting to the soul body, but in a, you know, much more complicated process. And then we are connecting to the spirit body. The spirit body leads us to source. So this is really like, I hope everybody can see it in their head, is like, we just are expanding. Our ultimate expansion is to expand and to be one with the mother. That means expanding into actually cosmos. So we can see it as a physical experience. Like for me, this was a physical experience. And I did want to mention something about Yogananda. So let me remember it, hopefully, where this was going. But I wanted to say a lot of things that we see in our superconscious state can seem that they are on the outside of us. But I also often think that we are seeing things that are on the inside of us, because we are not only the physical body, we can actually expand beyond the physical. And of course, we expand through the physical into the non-physical. And so what I experienced one night, this was my first test with Divine Mother. And actually, I never mentioned exactly what happened, but I will take you through what happened, because again, it's interesting, because I think it is also working with our own really being. So it was, you know, middle of the night, a Divine Mother already was coming to me every single night, and actually during the day as well. And so she came in the middle of the night, but she came with a guide. It was a man, male guide, never met him, don't know who he was, but he seemed to be like a guardian. And he asked me to come with him into what seemed to me like, let's call it underground. So you kind of are stepping into what I think is unconsciousness. I don't know, but there were steps that I had to take down, and this was all seemed to be on the outside. So as if you were going down many steps, it was all stone, but it was going down and down and down. And suddenly me and this guide, we came to the, you know, bottom of the stairs, and he opens the door. When he opened the door, I saw cosmos. So suddenly, like, this led to, you know, maybe a portal into cosmic view, I don't know. And then Divine Mother came, and she is the mother of cosmos, but as you know, she also can manifest herself in form or as light. So whatever she wants to do, she will do. So there she was in her kind of voice, transmitting herself as light, and she starts telling you, you know, surrender, show me your trust. And so, and I told this story many times, where I saw what she was inviting me to do, which was the free fall through cosmos, which in a way, when you think about it, is also an energetic surrender. If you can energetically completely let go, surrender, disconnect from the body consciousness, then she will actually kind of, to me, that's what it seems like, explode you. You have that moment of nothingness, which the mystics speak about, become nothing so that you can become everything. And in that moment, I had fear. And again, you know, that was the end of that story, because fear obviously will not allow you to surrender. Fear doesn't allow us to trust. Fear is the opposite of expansion. And that was the failed invitation, failed trust. And so then, you know, again and again, eventually this happened, that actually I did explode. I let go completely of all fear and thought and limitations, and I exploded into cosmos. Now, there was that moment of nothingness. The moment to me was like the unknown, because you don't know that you're going to become everything. First, you have to accept that you might become nothing. And so, you know, it's a process that happens spiritually within us. And again, this is all the mystical experiences we all are designed to have, actually, to become eventually cosmic consciousness. And again, it doesn't matter how we get there, but Kriya Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, all these beautiful breathing practices definitely help us to get to this level of, you know, expansion. So what we are doing here, we are doing the same thing. We are liberating the self that is usually very contracted from all the stuff that can happen in life. And then it one day when our energy body has to be ready. And this to me is the thing. So energy body must be ready. If the energy body is not ready, people then have, you know, when all these big expansions come and the nervous system is not ready, when the endocrine system is not ready, then to me, it creates imbalances. So we always want to be ready for these big events. And so we do it step by step, little by little. Yeah, and I think that's the problem with all different things that people take these days. And again, you know, for some people it might be amazing, for some people it is not so amazing. And so what it can do, it disturbs the system. We don't want to disturb the system. We want to do this when the system has been wonderfully prepared for big energies. Absolutely. I just saw a BBC documentary which says Jesus was a Buddhist monk. So I love this. And so we all, you know, this is a multidimensional reality. We might be meeting at night. We might be doing a lot of things beyond these little calls here. So it's a big, big game of life here. And so it is our design to actually expand so much that we go into our soul body. And as you know, we contact our soul. Our soul is a very large being in a solar plane, and we have to make contact to really be friends with our soul and to start collaborating consciously. You know, you might say, I always say, people think soul is always paying attention to us, but it is not always so, because the soul needs our attention and our desire to actually get to know the soul. Once we get to know the soul, we go and explore the spirit. And again, that prepares us for the big picture. And the big picture is very big. And even then, you know, I think it's not the full picture. And so we will be doing that today. So here I wanted to show the different energies that run through us. And so we work, when we do this breath, as you have noticed many times, with the Sushumna channel and also with the spinal cord. So this is a picture that shows us how the Sushumna channel actually also connects us to our third eye. So the way that I do my breathing practices, some of them I breathe through the Sushumna and I go into my third eye. Some of them I breathe through my Sushumna and I go to my crown. Again, you know, best is to be guided by your own guides, right? But this is the different opportunities that we have here. This opens us up. And what does it open us up for? It opens us up for cosmic energies. We want to be that open flute, open channel, open elevator. We want to be able to go through all the floors within us without any obstructions. And once again, you know, for example, our personality can be such a big obstruction, especially if the personality is very calcified. So, you know, sometimes people hold on to the personality thing, including all the pain and suffering, but it's okay to let go, even though it's not always easy, but it is okay to let go, to be liberated, because the reward, as you know, is always sweet. When we add that open flute, all this cosmic energy can start flowing. I'm too excited. So I was doing breathing exercises all morning, so it gets you very excited, as you can tell. And so we want all these cosmic energies to flow through us. We do. And so that's what we're going to do today. And once again, I always recommend doing a little bit of stretching. Here's a very basic stretch, being able to touch your toes, and while you're sitting, while you're standing. So the Sushumna is the central channel within the spine. So you imagine your spine, I call it the elevator, because we go up and down. And that is what our breath can do. We engage our visualization as well. We engage our imagination. The key is, when you do this, your posture. So for example, you know, when I used to first meditate, my first meditation, I was a lazy meditator, and I would just lay in bed listening to Oren. It was good, but it was not the same like sitting up and being straight. So once again, you know, we all go through different processes. And, you know, at the beginning, for example, for me, I was really comfortable. I liked it laying in bed. But now, you know, it's all about having a super straight spine, being able to connect with your skeleton in a very balanced way. Yeah, it's a good question. So this is what we're going to do. So a little bit of stretching, very simple stretches can be very powerful. So, you know, practicing being able to touch your toes, being able to bend forward. And also I like to turn side to side, because I also want to be able to, you know, move side to side with my spine. It opens it up. And so today, I even don't know where I got this from. I assume Oren and Daben had this on their website for free one day, because I looked for it today and I could not find it. It is just one single journey. And this one single journey is so beautiful, so powerful, and it will, again, activate the soul body, activate the spirit body. So again, we are taking it to the next level. I love this amazing expansion. Yes, I haven't found it, so I just assume it was once for free and then it's no longer there. But again, this is very similar to what we have done. So we will prepare with a little bit of breath, but also we'll do a little bit of chanting to open our being up. And then we'll connect with the gates of heaven. Now, why is this important to be opening up? Well, that's exactly what we do when we want to really fully explore the soul body, and when we want to explore the spirit body, and eventually our cosmic body. So again, just know there is no limitation. The only thing is we are attuning. We want to be ready for these big energies, because sometimes they are very, very big. So, for example, I was activating my light body many years ago, and I was working on it every single day, all the time. And I had this idea that I would travel across Europe, and that I would go to all the sacred sites and all the temples and all the churches and all the cathedrals, and that I would activate my light body inside these places or sitting on these places. And once I was sitting on some sacred hill, and I was connecting my light body with the energies of the sacred hill, and it was too much. It just really made me feel super unwell. And the energies, so the energies were just too big. And so we don't want to do anything that's too big. We just want to do exactly what's perfect. And that's the beauty of doing the work with Orin. It always is perfectly stepped down. Now, the stepping down is important. Yeah, I would have to ask Dwayne for his permission to post the meditation, and I will be speaking with him on January 16th, so I will ask. So, stepping down. Now, this is one thing that might not seem so, maybe logical or maybe known. It is actually logical. So when you have a source of very, very intense source light, if you take something which is absolutely not ready, like let's say a nervous system that is not attuned, then if you put this intensity of source light directly through that nervous system, what will happen? You completely collapse it, break it down, not useful, not beneficial, and actually painful. And so we have sources of light that are being always stepped down. And so we're going to be working with that which is being stepped down, absolutely. And whenever we are ready for more, everybody will be ready for more, and that's okay. We all know when we are ready. So for me, that was Yogananda coming one day when I was meditating in Encinitas and putting his physical hands on my head and running this golden electric light through actually head down to the base of the spine, which is what the masters will do. So we just show up, and what happens, that happens. Beautiful. Ashwagandha, I see. Beautiful. I love all the different, organic herbs that we can put into the body and be part of the great mystery, and really take in the intelligence and asking your body, Deva, what is it that's good for you? What do you want? And sometimes we are really surprised. So you never know what the body Deva says. And so let us go. Such little time. I know. So one of the sacred practices that I really love, and I do it every single day, I make a cup of tea from some herb, for example, this morning it was licorice, Egyptian licorice, and then take that as your ceremony. And that is really you connecting with the intelligence of cosmic mother nature as she manifested in this beautiful being that is the Deva of, for example, the herb. And so, connecting with the intelligence, I love it. So much can happen. And since, if you guys watch that documentary on Gaia about petting plants, how wonderful. Are you petting plants now? Are you making friends in the plant queendom? So, yes. Yeah, it's great. So I've been petting plants. Well, I love it. Kissing, petting them, singing to them, all that good stuff. So we are becoming superhumans. absolutely superhuman. And what does that mean? Number one, to be beings of love, and through that love, all is given unto us. To me, when we show up in love, liberated, absolutely liberated. And this all is liberation. I share liberation. And I was listening to someone who spoke about a doctor. And this was very interesting to me. Apparently, I heard it somewhere in some interview. There was some psychologist who didn't even meet with any of his clients. And they would send him a list of people who had issues or wanted to resolve things. And he would sit in meditation and he would resolve all the issues and problems that people had within himself. And then he made the resolution available in the quantum field. And apparently people were healing and people stopped having problems and he never got to see them. And so I thought about it, how, among us in this collective, we all have worked through things. And so when we come together, because we have worked through things and we are much more liberated than ever before, we make it available to the collective as well, this liberation through our divine work. Very beautiful. So let us start. For those of you who want to stretch a little bit, I'm going to just bend forward, bend sideways. It's good. We prepare the body. So we'll do that for one little moment. All right, here we are. And so I recorded myself doing the breath that, we learned the breath, which was the Ujjayi ocean breath. And so when you think about it, the Ujjayi breath, ocean breath, when you are, fogging the mirror, this is how we practice. It sounds like, and I don't know if that's even audible, but it's like ha, but the breath does it. We don't actually say ha, the breath becomes it. And then there is another breath that Yogananda also taught. And it is a breath that sounds like E, but actually we don't say E. It is the sound of the breath. So I recorded both of them because I know Zoom would not allow me to share it. So let me know if you can actually hear it. I did ha and E breath. Ha breath. E breath. You cannot hear it. That's too bad. So yeah, I thought Zoom would not hear it. So the E breath is again, Zoom will not allow me to transmit this. And that is when you inhale and then you let the breath out and it creates a sound of E without you actually saying E. Let's try it. And the sound has everything to do with how we contract the muscles in the throat. And it's very different from the ha breath, where actually, again, we open the muscles in the throat. So it creates different channels. So it actually doesn't really make sound, but it's not you making the sound of E, it's the breath that sounds like E. Anyway, I tried. And so with that, you do it first, you practice with your mouth open and then you close your mouth. Most of the breaths are practiced that way. You learn with your mouth open and then you close. So the ocean breath creates the sound of ha, and E breath is, I know, thank you for the question marks, but it's okay. You'll see it's actually very easy when you practice. So, and now let us go, actually, I see the time. So let us actually go straight into, so everybody can listen to this. And as you know, Yogananda taught us the breath of Hamsa, where we inhale through the spine. We start at the base of the spine. So this is a very important place, right? The base of the spine. And we inhale the ocean breath up and we inhale it into our third eye. And we just create the sound of ha, so the ocean breath. So let us just do one round. And then back, we create an exhale, which sounds like sa. So it's different muscles are contracted. So we'll go into the third eye through the shushum now. So again, this is just something that we can practice. It's all practice. Every day we get better and better at it. But now let us go into these beautiful star energies. So as you know, our spirit body is going to be opening up. We are opening all the beautiful stargates to heaven. We are working with so many beautiful sources. Once again, we will be working with the light of Sirius, with the light of the Pleiades, with the light of the Great Bear, and specifically within the Great Bear, with the light of the Big Dipper. And so here it is, star energies. It's 25 minutes.
The following journey is by Oren, channeled by Sanea Roman. For information, visit www.
Absolutely incredible initiation. So Isabel found this for free on the website. So please download it so that you can work with this. This is, a beautiful summary of so much what we have done. Now, of course, as mystics, you know how to take this to the next level. And this is what I learned in one of my embodiments on planet Earth. My name was Luna, and I lived in what we would call today Greece. And we were using all the star energies, inhaling them for our enlightenment through the Shushumna, through these sacred breaths into our being. So not only do we sit in meditation and we, align the spine, but we also inhale through the Shushumna. You can inhale through the top of your head, through your beautiful crown, into your Shushumna, all through the third eye, into your being. And then, of course, you expand it into every cell. Because we are evolving our physical matter into our spirit body. And this is how it happens. It's pretty incredible. And so, again, so much to play with, so much to play with. And so what is next for us? So we will repeat this at 5 p.m. Tomorrow, I will be traveling to Mount Shasta, so we will only have one alignment. I posted it on the website, so we only have the 5 p.m. alignment tomorrow. But what you can do is, again, bringing spirit into matter with this beautiful meditation. Pretty incredible. So thank you for being here today, as always. And I look forward to seeing you today at 5 p.m. or tomorrow at 5 p.m. So enjoy.